guys, Robert here, and welcome to episode 18 of RobGioRanks. I am sorry for the 3 to 4 day delay. I did not have enough time to post this episode on schedule on Monday, but I was lucky enough to post this now on a Thursday. So for this episode, we're in for something special because I'm going to be ranking the Future Sound 11's second album, Lifeforms. An album that I feel like some of you may probably know my thoughts on. But let's just get started. At number 19, I've placed Bird Wings. Number 18, I've placed Interstat. Number 17, I've placed Illflower. Number 16, I've placed Spineless Jelly. Number 15, I've placed Lifeforms. Number 14, I've placed Elaborate Burn. Number 13, I've placed Vit or Vit. I'm gonna call it Vit because I feel like that's the proper pronunciation here. Number 12, I've placed Domain. Number 11, I've placed Little Brother. Number 10, I've placed Omnipresence. Number 9, I've placed Cerebral. Number 8, I've placed Room 208. Number 7, I've placed Lifeforms. Number 6, I've placed Among Myselves. Number 5, I've placed Vertical Pig. Number 4, I've placed Cascade. Number 3, I've placed Dead Skin Cells. Number 2, I've placed Flack. And finally, at number 1, I've placed Eggshell. So that's the ranking proper, and now my thoughts on the album. Again, I think some of you may know my thoughts on this already if you have watched episode 31 of the RobGio 0407L Q&A. But this is an S tier album. This is a masterpiece of an album, and this is in my top 5 favorite albums of all time. Period. Like, listening to this whole album makes me feel like I'm going to like another planet that's like twice as tropical as like the Amazon rainforest. Like, it's like as if the entire planet is like the Amazon rainforest times 2. And now for my thoughts on some of the tracks. Normally I would talk about like half of the tracks, in which case it would be like 9 tracks I'd be talking about. But for the sake of time, I'm just going to be talking about my top 5. And maybe a little bit of the rest of the tracks. I don't know, but yeah, mainly my top 5 here. Cascade is the intro to this album that lets you know what you're getting into. Like, it checks off all the boxes for being like a good freaking intro. Just like awesome sound effects, like beautiful melodies and intricate beats. It's an awesome opener. But the melodies on that track are nothing compared to freaking Flack. Good God, the melodies on that one are really uplifting as hell. I also love the bongos that get integrated into this track. Like, it's really phenomenal. Dead Skin Cells is one of the longest tracks on the entire album, and it's also really beautiful as well. Like, I really love like the piano melodies that get integrated into this, and all these like awesome sounding guitars. This whole track makes me feel like I'm like venturing out at night in July or something. My favorite track on here, however, has to be Eggshell. Like, I just want to mention that since it's like literally a masterpiece of an album, I literally like love almost every single track on here. But Eggshell is like literally the one track I return to the most. Like, it's so good. And this is where like I feel like the atmosphere kind of shines through the most, alongside maybe Flack. The bass is badass, and those marimba melodies just never get out of my head. Eggshell's so good. And Vertical Pig is probably my favorite of like all the tracks from the second half of the album. It also may very well be like the darkest sounding track FSOL have ever came up with. The way how dark this track sounds, it feels like this track is kind of like wielding like a brute force or something. There are like a ton of different effects that go into this track. And I just love it so much. It's just so crazy. I love Vertical Pig. And that's pretty much like my very brief thoughts on my top 5. And the rest of the tracks, like I said, I love almost every single track on here. Like, even if Interstat and Bird Wings are like my least favorite tracks on here because they really don't do much for me compared to all the other tracks here. I mean, they're still they at least they do a really great job at contributing to like the overall atmosphere. And more importantly, this album has just like aged pretty dang well. It aged like freaking fine wine for an album that came out all the way back in 1994, dude. Holy crap. And it just does a really great job at nailing down that atmosphere that kind of makes you feel like you're on a different alien civilization. Like, it's just amazing, man. And yeah, I don't know what else to say, man. This is about to break new records for the series because I'm going to give this album a 10 out of 10 on this. Just spectacular. So what do you think about Lifeforms? If you have any thoughts on it that I suggest to figure that out in the comment section down below. The Spotify link to this album will also be linked in the description down below if you want to give this album a listen. If you have any projects you want me to rank next, feel free to leave your suggestions in the requester form in the description down below. Also, be sure to like this video, share this one with your friends if you want to, and leave a comment down below. And as always, don't forget to subscribe as we're on the road to 7,000 subscribers. That's pretty much it, guys. Thank you for watching, and as always, I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye, guys.